We need to talk about something that's getting completely out of hand. Loan mailers. You know the ones. You open up your mailbox and boom, a pre-approval letter for a $50,000 loan at 6% interest. Sounds amazing, right? Until you give them a call. So today I'm breaking down exactly what these offers are actually promoting and what happens if you enroll and how much it really costs. As always, this video is just for informational purposes only and shouldn't be construed as legal or financial advice. So these mailers paint a picture of a really amazing loan to help pay down your debt. The loan itself is usually pretty large, like $50,000 to $100,000 with a super small interest rate. And it'll say at the top, like you're pre-approved or pre-selected. But these are honestly just empty buzzwords that don't actually mean anything. Okay, so let's say you pick up the phone or you head over to their website to see what this all is about, but something just doesn't feel right. But you ignore that feeling and go along with it anyways and listen to what they have to say, only to find out that what they're actually offering isn't a loan at all. In fact, what these companies are hiding behind these flashy mailers is something that could potentially damage your finances even more than your current debt. When I investigated these offers more, I discovered they were actually trying to enroll people in debt settlement programs, which are completely different from a loan and come with severe consequences most people have no idea about. Which actually begs the question, was there ever a chance you could have gotten a loan from this company in the first place? Maybe, but the odds are slim because the qualifications for a loan tend to exclude a lot of people. The thing is, these companies won't typically call it what it is. They may use a completely different name like debt relief, debt forgiveness, debt negotiation, debt hardship, or something as vague as the program. Listen, I don't care what they call it, I'm still not signing up. So something else you may be able to do just to make sure it's really a debt settlement program is doing a quick Google search. You can look at the business name on the mailer or look up their reviews on Better Business Bureau and Trustpilot. If you read the positive reviews, most of the time, you'll actually notice that they're mainly just complimenting the customer service and nothing about if they successfully got a loan. But if you switch over to the negative reviews, you'll actually find that people don't hold back about what really went down after they signed up for the program. So now that we know what they're really offering, how does a debt settlement program work? Well, it's much different than the loan you're expecting to get. I'll tell you that much. With a debt settlement program, you fall behind on paying your debts for a few months, which can completely trash your credit score. Now, instead of paying your creditors, that money is actually going into a special purpose bank account that was set up by the debt settlement company you signed up with. And then once your accounts fall behind enough, the debt settlement company will actually get in touch with your creditors and try to negotiate and settle the debt for less than what's owed, which is a completely different ballgame than just getting a loan to consolidate your debt. Debt settlement programs honestly can be pretty stressful and confusing, and if you don't fully understand what you're signing up for in the first place, it can leave you in a worse position than you were before you started. And it isn't completely uncommon for people that signed up for a debt settlement program to go and actually file bankruptcy later on to fix the mess that these companies made. This is exactly why it's so important to consider and understand all of your options before making any decisions. I get it. Feeling overwhelmed with your debt is not fun. But if you use our free calculator, your available options will be made crystal clear, so you can see how to get out of debt faster without feeling stuck. It can save you from making expensive mistakes like enrolling in a program that doesn't actually benefit you. All you need to do is just plug in a few details and we'll generate a custom report showing the cost estimates, timelines, and the pros and cons of each option. I'm gonna put the link in the description below, but you can also scan the QR code on the screen. It honestly only takes a few minutes and could save you time, stress, and money. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that have been misled by these mailers that promised one thing only to not deliver on that promise. It's genuinely heartbreaking. And don't even get me started on some of the fees these companies are charging. Just kidding, I'm actually gonna get started on that now. So just to give you a taste on what this could cost you, you could potentially be paying setup fees when you begin the program, late payment fees if you miss a payment, monthly fees for even being in the program itself, extension fees if the program runs longer than expected. The list goes on and on. And these hidden costs are just taking the money that could have been saved. Not exactly a win-win. In fact, they charge a fee if they do win, and that fee is anywhere from 15 to 25% of the debt amount. So let's say you have $30,000 worth of debt in the program, they'll be taking about $4,500 to $7,500 for that job. So how can you protect yourself from these predatory tactics? The red flags are easy to miss unless you know exactly what to look for. Most people focus on the interest rate or the loan amount, completely overlooking the subtle language that reveals what's really being offered. The most important warning signs are going to be pre-selected or pre-approved terms, fake checks at the bottom of the page, and maybe vague references to programs rather than actual loans. Now, when you spot these, don't just toss the mailer, shred it to protect your information and run the other direction. If you still want to give them a call to talk it out, I would beat them to the punch and directly ask, is this a loan or a program? And based on their answer, you'll know what to do. Now that you know what to avoid, let's actually talk about what actually works. So let's say you don't qualify for a loan and you absolutely do not want to do a debt settlement program. What else is out there? Well, to start, there's a nonprofit credit counseling option, also known as debt management, and there's bankruptcy, which isn't as bad as you're probably thinking. Watch this video next to know which option could be the fastest way out of debt based on your specific situation.